Conversations that inspire change. Watch My Community right here.
It's a beautiful good evening and a warm welcome to Bmtv main news bulletin. We're live on Topstar channel 114 on your Topstar decoders, and we're live on Facebook as well as YouTube. You can stream live on our website. It is www.bmtvzambia.com. Now let me take you through these stories that are making headlines this evening. Xavier Chungu appears before court. Shantumbu Road construction project gaining momentum. Bishop condemns election violence, urges peaceful campaigns. In international news, as climate shifts, malaria gains ground in Southern Africa. And in sports news, Serena Williams has nothing to prove ahead of her comeback. To present the news in detail, my name is Sontwa. Former intelligence chief and presidential aspirant Xavier Chungu has appeared before court facing 11 charges. The charges include 7 counts of communicating classified information, 3 counts of seditious practices, and 1 count of disclosing information to an unauthorized person. The allegations are linked to statements he allegedly made during a podcast interview recorded in Lusaka in May 2026. The matter has since been adjourned to a later date as court proceedings continue.
That's what we're going to do. Also.
Meanwhile, the Mabumba royal establishment of the Wushi-speaking people has demanded the immediate release of Xavier Franklin Chungu, a presidential candidate for the Liberal Democrats Party in the upcoming August 13, 2026 general elections. In a statement issued from Mansa district, the traditional leaders described the incarceration as a prolonged and unlawful detention and a clear abuse of the country's criminal justice system. According to the royal establishment, Mr. Chungu was initially arrested on May 28, 2026 after being held for a week without formal charges or any appearance in court. His legal team successfully petitioned the High Court, which granted him bail on June 4, 2026. And the Kazembe Lunda royal establishment has strongly condemned the continued police detention of Xavier Franklin Chungu, describing this situation as a serious affront to the rule of law and judicial independence. Mr. Chungu, the former Director General of the Zambia Security Intelligence Service and the Liberal Democratic Party presidential candidate for the upcoming August 13, 2026 general election, has remained in custody despite a High Court order granting him bail. According to a press statement issued by the traditional leadership from Ruapula province, Mr. Chungu was initially arrested on May 28, 2026, facing allegations under Penal Code, the State Security Act, and the Zambia Security Intelligence Act. In another story, Reverend Bishop Joseph Sibanda of Grace Pentecostal Church and Ministries has called on Zambians to uphold peace and reject all form of violence during the election period. Bishop Sibanda said that Zambia is a peaceful and Christian nation where citizens have the democratic right to choose leaders of their choice through the ballot and not through acts of violence or intimidation. He stressed that the attempts to silence opposition views should not be tolerated in a democratic society. He further urged aspiring candidates to focus on presenting their manifestos and development agendas to the people, saying voters should be given clear reasons to support those seeking public office. Bishop Sibanda emphasized that the peaceful campaign and issue-based politics are key to strengthening democracy and ensuring credible elections in Zambia.
Zambia is both a democratic country and a Christian country at the same time. It is unnecessary for anybody to pick up stones, to burn somebody's house, to break somebody's property, to carry machetes, guns, and do any violent acts in order to threaten anybody into voting the candidate of their choice. It is not who we are as Zambians. We are a Christian country. Christian means we must be guided by the word of God. We must show that we fear God and respect our fellow human being as one that was created by God. As Zambia, we must show that we are growing in our democracy. We are quite a number of years now in this democracy. I think this is almost about 35 years old in democracy. We must do better, especially during the time of the elections. We must show that democracy means every person has a right to choose which leader they want to lead them. And that is through a vote. It's not through a stone. It is not through violence. It is not by silencing another person's voice. In a democracy, every voice must be heard.
Now, on a developmental story, the upgrade of the Shantumbu Road, a vital connection between Lusaka and Kafue districts through Chalala Township, is taking shape as momentum builds for the project. The Road Development Agency, RDA, is rehabilitating and upgrading 58.5 kilometers of road network in Lusaka, including a significant 22 kilometers of the Shantumbu Road. This rehabilitation project is a cornerstone of the government's broader infrastructure development strategy aimed at enhancing urban mobility, improving road safety, and bolstering socio-economic growth in Lusaka and its surrounding areas. Engineer Pandeke Chabala, the acting director of the construction and rehabilitation at RDA, inspected the ongoing works, which are being carried out by KG Construction Zambia Limited under the supervision of Okatic System Limited. During the visit, Engineer Chabala revealed updates on the project's current status, which includes road bed preparation, pavements construction, culvert installation, drainage works, and priming activities along various sections of the road corridor. The election campaign intensifies as political players share their vision on how people will benefit once elected. Among them is a Kawata aspiring member of parliament, Handru Tayengwa, today embarked on a door-to-door campaign with confidence that he will retain his parliamentary seat in the 2026 general elections. The constituency has a variety of contestants from the ruling and opposition political parties, as well as independent candidates. Mr. Tayengwa says he is confident, Mr. Tayengwa says his confidence is based on the developmental projects and community empowerment initiatives that have been implemented in Kawata constituency during his tenure as Member of Parliament. The lawmaker, who has represented Kawata since winning the 2022 by-election under the United Party for National Development ticket after the demise of Levi Mkandawire, Tayengwa remains committed to addressing the needs of the people and delivering more development to the constituency. Mr. Tayengwa has since called on residents to continue supporting his leadership as the country heads towards the 2026 polls.
To the people of Kawata, we don't need to promise them anything. All what we need to do is to assure them that we'll continue doing this where we left. you can see that we've done a lot of developmental projects, and some of the projects that we started are not yet complete. So we wish to tell the people of Kawata that we will ensure that we continue the developmental agenda that we have, so that we can realize a better dream of the Kawata.
Your message to the HOT in Kawata, what things, what do you think or rather, why should we be given a second term as our own?
Okay, first of all, I want to His Excellency the structures, the leadership of the party, especially of the constituency level, because as you can see, we've already progressed.
Government has commended forestry and wildlife officers for their dedication in protecting Zambia's natural resources despite operating under challenging conditions. Speaking during the opening of the forestry law enforcement training for officers from Central Province, Provincial Permanent Secretary Dr. Milna Mwanakampwe expressed gratitude to the United States Forest Service for its continued technical and financial support to Zambia's forestry sector. Dr. Mwanakampwe said that the training, which brings together forestry and wildlife officers from various districts, is aimed at strengthening forest law enforcement through the implementation of newly developed standards, operating procedures, SOPs, and enhanced collaboration between the Forestry Department and the Department of National Parks and Wildlife. He notes that Central Province occupies a strategic position as the only province sharing boundaries with 8 other provinces, making it a key transit hub and vulnerable to illegal exploitation of natural resources, including charcoal production, illegal timber harvesting, and wildlife poaching and habitat destruction. We go to another story. The aspiring independent candidate for Kamwala Ward 5, Patrick Muwo, says he is determined to address long-standing challenges affecting the area by providing practical and sustainable solutions. Mr. Muwo said one of his key priorities is tackling the problem of illegal waste dumping in a undesignated area, noting that the practice has contributed to blocked pathways and drainage systems, resulting in flooding and creating breeding grounds for diseases. He emphasized the need for residents to live in a clean and healthy environment, adding that effective waste management is critical in safeguarding public health and preventing disease outbreak.
I will definitely be the voice for Kamala residents, and I've been in Kamala for over 20 years now. This really provoked me, and this made me to say, let me stand for the position of councillor, so that we try to work together as a team and sort out some of these issues. The committee, and that committee will be giving us a report on a monthly basis. Therefore, the same committee will be responsible to ensure that we handle the matters of garbage collection, that we clear out our community, because these same plastics, for instance, somebody buys a sachet of mineral water and then he drinks and just throw it anyhow. One, ask for the bins, so that these bins are deployed in some places where we are able to throw in immediately. Somebody consume it and throw it in the garbage rather than leaving it. When we leave it, it will block these drainages. At the end of the day, we'll have floods. So
Well, we take our first break. We'll be back with international and sports news. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for staying with us. Now we proceed with international news. A growing Ebola outbreak in Central Africa could surpass 20,000 cases within months if efforts to isolate infected people fail, according to new U.S. health projection. Experts warn that the spread of a rare virus strain and ongoing conflict could fuel a major health risk crisis. The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, has warned that the current Ebola outbreak in Central Africa could grow to more than 20,000 cases, depending on how effectively health authorities identify and isolate infected people. We monitor Africa News with the details.
The European Union's Crisis Commissioner Hadja Lahbib arrived in Bunia on Sunday, capital of Ituri province and the epicenter of eastern DR Congo's ongoing Ebola outbreak. Bunia also serves as a logistics hub for the emergency response. The European Union takes this emergency very seriously. As soon as the outbreak began, we sprang into action and were on the ground very quickly to step up our support, and that commitment continues today. I've brought an additional €5 million to set up regional diagnostic centres in the provinces hardest hit to provide faster and more reliable testing where it's most needed. In an updated toll on Sunday, Kinshasa said the country had 488 confirmed cases and 86 deaths in the epidemic, which it announced on May 15th. As I told you 2 weeks ago, a humanitarian flight delivered nearly 100 tons of supplies to eastern DRC, medicines, tents and protective equipment. 5 more flights are scheduled for Bunia, and I believe another flight has even landed today. Ituri province is hard to access because of poor roads and insecurity due to armed groups operating in the area. Lahbib called for humanitarian and health workers to be guaranteed access to people in need.
Still with international news. In a remote South African village, Paulina Mlango sits in the yard as health workers in green protective gear move briskly through our home, soaking the walls with anti-mosquito insecticide. Our teenage grandson fell critically ill last year from malaria, the disease that kills more than 250,000 people annually and is surging in southern Africa as the climate shifts. Before this spring, the family's only defense against malaria, carrying mosquito, was a rattling fun, said Mlango, a 63-year-old retired. Once more, we have Africa News with the details.
Mpumalanga is one of 3 provinces in South Africa's so-called malaria belt. The region is experiencing changing rain patterns and rising temperatures that favor mosquito breeding. As a result, malaria cases have exploded, forcing disease control teams into action. Today, they are spraying anti-mosquito insecticide in Paulina Mlongo's house. So that man was not bitten by mosquitoes while here. He was at work somewhere. And the problem is that it took a while to detect that it was indeed malaria. Because of that, it got a bit severe. But he recovered. Malaria cases in Mpumalanga jumped 4-fold in January compared with a year earlier, according to the National Institute for Communicable Diseases. The upsurge jeopardizes South Africa's goal of eliminating the disease by 2029.
It is very painful to see someone dying of something that is preventable and again curable. So we are requesting our public to utilize our health facilities to get treated if they are malaria positive.
Experts blame the jump in cases on extreme weather in southern Africa. Flood-hit Mozambique recorded more than 1.3 million cases in the first 6 weeks of the year, up 55%, alongside dozens of deaths.
This issue of climate change is a complex thing to deal with because honestly, when you plan as department or as a program, you need to be able to anticipate that will be coming on your way for you to plan properly. But with climate change, I think you cannot come and say, expect this, because everything is just unfolding.
For health officials, the shifting weather patterns are forcing a rethink of malaria planning beyond traditional hotspots and seasons.
We take our second break. We'll be back with sports news. Stay tuned.
My community, where every voice matters and every story counts.
Kuche si solution kuti bazimwambo bafunika bakasi kenga kwatu maskills komne bashitako banzao so that bashandize command government banga nchito maningi chabetinga cha appreciate bakazi wa muna wonse waonongeka
counseling sessions for our youths that are people who are using drugs, and also we have a clinic at the University Teaching Hospital.
So
from youth empowerment to health, education, development, and the everyday challenges affecting our people, we bring the community closer to the conversations that inspire change. Watch My Community right here on Bmtv every Sunday at 17 hours. Keep watching Bmtv.
Well, I do appreciate for your staying. And now let me drive you straight into the world of sports right here. Tennis legend Serena Williams says she has nothing to prove as she prepares to make a return to the sport. Williams stated that her comeback is motivated by her love for tennis and not by a desire to validate her legacy, having already achieved immense success throughout her career. We monitor Sky Sports News right here.
And signal the start of the grass season. Now that will also see the return of the great Serena Williams to the court as she prepares for Queen's, where she will compete in the doubles tournament after 4 years away from the game. And she's been speaking about her return this afternoon ahead of her official return this Tuesday.
I don't need to win. I've won more than most people have in their whole lives. So for me, it's that is not important to me. And it's important that I keep reminding myself of that because I don't have anything to prove. I don't have anything to lose. And everything here is just to gain. Yeah, in December, I definitely was not. And then was just talking to a few people and just, chatting about different possibilities of just having fun and, something a little bit different. And so just kept talking and talking, and then I was like, well, why not, for lack of a better explanation. This whole journey is like I'm putting no pressure on myself. I've had enough pressure, and for me right now, it's really just about, I don't know, it's so many elements, it's really about my kids getting to see me play. I mean, Olympia's a little bit older, Adira's very young, but it's also still moments like that. It's also just an athlete is like the best thing that you can be in the highest place. And having an opportunity to still be able to possibly do that one last time is kind of cool and exciting. It feels good. I think today I hit with Vicky twice, and today I felt a lot better off the ground. I felt a lot better everywhere. So it felt like, okay, it's riding a bike up a hill, but enjoying the ride. But for singles, I can't say yeah, I can't say no. Right now, no. I feel like I probably need to train a little bit more if I want to play singles, and we'll see if I get there. And if not, that's not my journey right now.
Well, we continue with the sports stories right here. The Twirling Youth Sports Challenge once again delivered an exciting weekend of youth sport at the OIDC Zambia Sports Development Center for Judo and Baseball 5. The competition continues to provide a valuable platform for young people to develop their sporting talents while promoting teamwork, discipline, and health lifestyle. The football competition saw both boys and girls teams battle for victory in a series of competitive matches. In the girls category, Olympic Flying Queens secured a 2-0 victory over Njovu Queens, while Zanimone girls recorded an impressive 2-0 win against Olympa Africa Queens, and the boys division produced equally exciting encounters. OIDC boys edged Beacon of Hope 2-1 in a closely contested match, while Olympa Africa boys closed to a 3-0 victory over CR7. Mighty Rangers also collected maximum points after defeating Telos 2-0. The netball court also was filled with excitement as teams competed in a series of thrilling fixtures. Well, on that note, we close our news today. But before we do so, a recap of the stories that made headlines. Xavier Chungu appears before court. Shantumbu Road construction project gaining momentum. Bishop condemns election violence, hedges peace and peaceful campaigns. In international news and in sports news, Serena Williams has nothing to prove ahead of her comeback. Well, that's all we had for you this evening. This has been Sontwa Morris Sinkala. I say thank you so much on behalf of the production team, Mr. Aldrich Kampamba on transmission. Camera 1 and Camera 2 was Mr. Douglas Banda and Jackson Tembo. In our newsroom, Ruth Msakabantu and our news editor, Mr. Temwani Nkata. I say Zikomo Kwambiri for watching and keep it BMTV.
Who cares? He doesn't care about you. Can't you see that he doesn't love you? The fool is just killing time with you.
Oh no, Nsama. I will not. Oh no, Nsama. I will not have you insult my husband in his house. No.
This guy is not good enough for you. I mean, why should you care when he's out there jumping up and down with every woman he sees?
Am I allowed to ask questions? Why are you so eager about whistling in the dark that our father was murdered?
Yes, because he was. He was murdered. I mean, he was foaming when he died. What you call the tower poyo?
I foam in my mouth when I sleep. Does that mean I'm poisoned?
Oh, Chikondi, stop being stupid. We are not in the mood for your rubbish right now.
And the black sheep speaks.